All right. We are here. We are ready. So yes, I attended RetroCon in Philadelphia. Very fun experience. Much more of a collector's haven, I guess you would say, than MagFest, as fun as MagFest was too. And there were games, there were a lot of other things, much more of a Hot Wheels and Pez dispenser population there than I would have expected. But I know those are collector's items, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Just wasn't the first thing I thought of. Just pretty much anything that's old school was there. Stuffed animals, plushies, art, Star Wars stuff, you name it. It was all there. So obviously, I ended up coming in under what I planned on spending, because I'm not traveling much this year. So I'm just like, all right, well, I can justify spending more here and count that as like a trip or something, you know. It's just me making technicalities in my budget to buy more video games. I have terrible impulse control. Nonetheless, we have cool things to review. And it is also the Lord's Day, or as we will be celebrating the Lord's Day today. It's been a while. It is Shy Guy Saturday on Sunday. So give it up for the little guy. And speaking of the little guy, him and his friend Yoshi back there appear to be holding some cool stuff. So, let's go see what the little guy's holding. Oh, I didn't think this part through. I thought it would be cool to start it by him holding it. It's actually kind of a pain in the ass, because now I gotta make multiple trips, because I don't want to just, you know, things to just go flying everywhere. It was a cool idea, though. Ugh. We're almost there. Alright, those can go there. And one more thing sitting behind me here. Okay. So let's see what order I want to do this in. Let's start with the loose N64 games. Let's start with those. Now, this isn't like, there won't be full unboxing and stuff. This is just quickly going over the haul. One game specifically will have an unboxing at a later date. Okay. First thing, probably the least prominent of all the things I purchased yesterday. And it would be this guy right here. Oh, shit. Computer, what are you doing? There we go. Okay. It would be this guy right here. That is Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey. I just decided, screw it. I'm trying to complete the library. I gotta buy all the sports games eventually anyway. So I saw it there. Pretty good shape. It has a rattle to it for some reason, but hey, she works. That's all that matters. Next up, a game that I know very little about, but it is published by Rare. And anything Rare made in the 90s and early 2000s is just straight fire. And as soon as I fired up the game to test it, I'm just like, yeah, this is a Rare developed game, without a doubt. It's just like, you can just tell. It has that Rare feel, and that is Jet Force Gemini. It is a game I fully plan on playing eventually. It is available on Switch Online, which makes my life easier since I still can't do original hardware. Skill issue, I know. But yeah, so that's another cool one. Also in good shape. Got a good price on it as well. Pretty much everything there was good price. I don't want to say I was shocked. There was only like one place that was overcharging for things, though. I finally saw my first ever complete in-box Paper Mario in the wild, too, and it was, you know, $300, so it's just why I'm glad we randomly found that in my parents' attic. And, you know, I don't have to buy it, which is great. Anyway, next up, another one in pretty good shape here. Which you might be surprised that I've never had it, would be Mario Golf for the N64. I have played it sparingly on Switch Online. It's good. Doesn't hold a candle to Toadstool Tour on GameCube, though. But it's good. On to the next one. Hey, TK, what's up? What's up? How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome to my showing off of all of my nerd purchases. Now, these next two right here, they are in such immaculate condition that I thought they were reproductions. Like, I legitimately thought they were fakes. Like, and the guy, like, he's just cleaned them really well. Like, they're legitimate original cartridges, and they are just in immaculate shape. He had them, like, vacuum sealed in, like, plastic and everything. It was fantastic. And it's hard to find one of these two games because it's a Pokemon game. And Pokemon games tend to get overinflated, even the ones that aren't the more well-known ones. It's just how it works. But first, I will show you this one. An N64 classic, just in general, a classic Nintendo series. Excitebike 64. Another one I never had for the collection. As well, you might not be able to see, but like I said, it's in immaculate condition. No, you can't see it like that. You know, just I did all of my checks to make sure it was a legit cartridge. It is. This guy just takes great care of his stuff. You know, he just thoroughly cleans everything. It's not a scratch on the thing. It's fantastic. Got it. Another one I got at a good price. And the other one, it's probably the first. It might be the first retro Pokemon game I bought, because I have all the ones that matter the most, like, you know, Ruby, Fire Red, all those. Emerald's over there. But I never had this one for the N64, or its sequel. Pokemon Stadium. I've always liked this cartridge because it literally encourages you to write your name there. And it's, most of them I see out in the wild, even the beat up ones, they don't seem to have a name on them. Just, people were not inclined to do that for some reason. I feel like that might add to the charm, but me personally, I prefer it to not have a name on it. So yeah, that was a good one, got it at a good price, and again, immaculate condition. Hard to find that with Pokemon games. Alright, let's move on to... Actually, let's not move on to handheld yet. I have one more N64, two more actually, but we're gonna save one for last. I bought this. Y'all know what this is. That right there is a Japanese exclusive Pikachu N64 controller that came with the same console that these people also had for a pretty good price based on what it goes for on eBay these days. It took everything in me to not do that, but then I'm just like, alright, well, there goes my spending money for the rest of the day. I'd rather get a bunch of games instead. If I want to, and they region-free modded it as well. So, like, would it have been cool? Yeah. I mean, I don't have any other Japanese games other than Mario Story, which I, can't test, obviously. In immaculate condition, but I can't test it. But yeah, so this one was a really cool one that I found. This was the first thing I saw there. I figured someone would scoop it up at the price it was for, like, immediately. So, and again, in good shape. Like, even the very firm stick here, pause, just overall in great shape. I don't know how much I'll use this one. That gives me 5 controllers, but nonetheless, a cool one. Very, very cool color, too. And nice little graphic there, obviously. Little Pikachu. Alright. You have most... Missing like 30. Nice. That's nice. You're much, much further ahead than I am. I want to say the 7 games, or 6 total N64 games brought me up to like 55. I'm kind of moving along slowly because I'm collecting other consoles too. But like, you know, that's one that, that's the one I'm prioritizing. It's just when I see other games I want or I like, it's just sometimes that takes precedence. Like this next one, right here. I did a recent first playthrough of this game when it was added to Switch Online. Y'all know me. I'm a big Metroid fan. Mostly Metroid Prime, but I love the 2D games. I replayed Dread recently, and that one ended up taking the cake for my favorite 2D Metroid. It's so perfect. But this one is my second, even above Super Metroid. And I decided it was a good price, it's in good shape, I must get a physical copy. We got Metroid Zero Mission. Again, I adore that game, the stealth at the end, just like the perfect retelling of the first game. It's just, I adored the game on my playthrough. Everything about it was so much fun. So when I saw that there, I bought it. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys, I actually got it, that and this at the same place. That would be the stand that I spent the most money at, I guess. And then another one. God, I wish I could remember the name of the guy's place here. He doesn't have a physical location. I think it's just like a Facebook page. I don't remember what it is, but he always has great prices. He was at MagFest. I recognized him immediately. I ended up buying 3 games off of him. It was Jet Force, Golf, Mario Golf, and this one, Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. As I've said multiple times, Super Mario Bros. 3 is my favorite 2D Mario, and I've never played this remake of it, so I'm very excited to do that now. Which I could have done it on Switch Online too, but I have a physical copy. I don't like playing things unless I have a physical copy. Sort of like a collector's rule, I guess. Okay. Moving on, the next two. One of these, well, I already put it on my story, so you've seen it already. One of these I already had. Just loose though, like, I have a rule with DS games, GameCube games, they all need to at least have the case and the manual for me to buy it. I don't like buying them loose. Same thing with, I guess you'd say, Wii games, Switch game, you know, stuff like that. If it didn't originally come in a cardboard box, I want the full case. Like, I'll buy an N64 game loose, I'll buy a GBA game loose, stuff like that, yes. But if it came in a case, not a box, I want the case. First one. The one that I already had. Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Nope. Hello, Glare. There we go. Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Perfect. This one, not complete. Just the manual. And, of course... Get the hell out of there. What the hell? There we go. And, of course, little cartridge. I've only ever played this game once, but I remember enjoying it. Very, very charming game. I enjoy that Wind Waker, you know, adult timeline art style very, very much. But yeah, so that was good. So I guess I have 2 copies of this game now. I could probably just sell the other one. I don't really have much nostalgia for it. That's not a console I want to start doubling up on games on. Like, I have a couple where I doubled up N64, and I'm going to have more probably if I spontaneously buy boxed copies, but, you know. So yeah, that's one. And much like this next one here, much like Zero Mission, except I never had a way to play this one, nor have I ever played it. But much like Zero Mission, I have been looking for a physical copy at the right price for the longest time. There was one at one of my local places up in Scranton, and I decided to buy something else that month. I'd give myself like a little bit of a budget, and I wanted to buy it. The next month, someone bought it. But luckily, and I was probably on my 3rd trip around all the vendors at this point, there were... I'll get into that after this, actually. I'll show you the game first. Ladies and gentlemen, The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. I don't think this game was super well received. I don't remember. Like, I mean, it's a Zelda game. There really isn't any such thing as a bad Zelda game, aside from The Legend of Zelda 2 Adventure of Link. Don't get me started on that. But there really is no bad mainline Zelda game. This one is complete in box. I got it for 60 bucks. That's a pretty damn good price for this one. Like I said, not full unboxing, but I mean, we got everything here. We got the little insert here. We got Club Nintendo. I'm pulling these out in order too, so that means this manual is just straight up never touched, much like all of mine are over there. The DS safety one, and of course, the manual and the cartridge themselves. I have a feeling, and I'm going to be playing this game immediately, not streaming it, but like, I'm going to play it like in my free time just immediately because I want to. And I feel like I'm really going to enjoy it. So I'm very, very happy about that. Finally getting my hands on this game. Like I said, much like Zero Mission, I've been trying for a while, just never materialized. It's a hard to find game. It really is. But yeah, before I forget, I found that one on like my 3rd trip around. Like, first trip around, I went to strictly the people who specialized in games. Then after that, there were ones where I saw games, but they had other stuff. I'm just like, alright, well, these guys might not be fully involved here. They could be selling repros they don't even know about. Like, you never know, because they weren't specializing in the games. And this one, he just had a case full of DS games in the middle of a bunch of other stuff. Like, the vast majority of his stuff was not video games. So, it's a good thing I just decided to check everything. Because, I would not have found Spirit Tracks otherwise. And this was towards the end of the day, too. I'm surprised someone else didn't scoop it up at that price. And it looks untouched, like, barely played. There's one save file on it with 3 hearts, that's it. Like, it's like somebody just started the game and decided to never play it. So, that was a huge find. In that same, breath, there was another guy who had absolutely no games at his stand. It was like all toys, a little bit of art, but mostly toys. Except he had one game sitting in the pile. I did not buy it, because I have a budget. It was Earthbound for the Super Nintendo. Not complete in box, loose, but still, like, that's like $700, or $800, something like that. And I asked him, just like, that is the last game I would expect to see at a stand like this. And he's just like, yeah, I just brought it, and, you know, see if someone would buy it. It's like, oh, someone might. It's a rare game. If I wasn't paying off student loans, I probably would have bought it. But anyway, on to our last one before our Yu-Gi-Oh card opening, and then our randomizer. You'll be surprised here. I mean, I've said it before, you might not be surprised. Despite my obsession with the Nintendo 64 console, I only had like 12 games as a kid. Most of my time spent gaming was on the GameCube, and those 2 handhelds there that I'm surprised still even function with how much I beat them up, the DS and the Game Boy Advance SP. Despite that, I love the N64, and there was a lot of classics I missed as a result, including this one. Ladies and gentlemen, GoldenEye 007, never had it physically until right now. I don't even have a loose copy. This is my first ever copy of GoldenEye. I love the game, I did play it once, I kind of broke my rule there by playing it before I owned a copy. Again, this is not a full unboxing, we're not going to do that, but the cartridge is in there, it's in really good shape. I was eyeballing one at a local store for a while, they have it listed at 100, which at the time, 100 was good when he first listed it, but like, it's going for like 70 these days. This one ended up costing me 70, and I'm just like, okay. This is the deal I've been waiting for. Box is in really good shape, too. Not a lot of scratches or dents on it, really. The manual's in there. I don't know what else it came with. It's probably not complete, but it has the manual. Yeah, that one I bought at the same stand with the Zero Mission. So, they were probably thrilled with me. Yeah, there were a lot of good prices there. It was great. Also, we're not done yet, because I summon Pot of Greed, which allows me to continue opening more and more and more nerdy stuff. Yes, I bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards there too, since my former roommate, I believe, stole mine, unless they're buried in my parents' attic somewhere. I'm pretty sure they were here. That, plus one of my Game Boy Advance games, vanished, so I would assume he stole them. Because he stole things on his way out, but we're not getting into that. So yeah, I got 3 Pot of Greed cards for the meme, and Mystic Horseman because I like them. And here's where things get fun. I am not a card collector. I wasn't very into Yu-Gi-Oh for the longest time. I started rewatching the show recently though and forgot how amazing it is. Amazing, great show. And now I'm kind of just, like, on the grind again. Like, I'm really into it right now. That'll probably pass. It was never one of my biggest interests, but, like, you know. And then I saw this deal. Mystery card bag. 50 cards, $5. I'm just like, okay, $5, quick. Have some fun with it and figure out what I get. So, we're gonna do that right now. These could be absolute ass. This could be so anticlimactic, but, like, still. You never know. Could be some cool stuff in here. Okay. If it's something I recognize, I'm automatically going to think it's cool. Let's see. Oh, the rest are all upside down. There we go. Ah, Destroyer Golem. I remember Destroyer Golem. Cool card. Let's see. We got a fusion one here. Ojaman Knight? I'm not familiar with that one. It has 0 attack and 2500 defense. So I guess make sure you play it in defense mode, otherwise it will do nothing. Crimson Sentry. Not super familiar with that one either. Wolf Axe Wielder. Words are hard. Also not very familiar with that one. Ah, yes. A classic. Change of Heart. At least they could have done was put these, there we go. Urjama Green, I'm going to assume that one probably plays in with that other one there. Again, not very familiar with it. Red Moon Baby, I'm not familiar with a lot of these. I'm kind of surprised. Red Moon Baby. Ultimate Offering, I've seen this one before. I remember it, definitely owned it. This one is in Japanese. I know I recognize it. I don't remember the name. I do not remember the name. Skill issue on my part. But I recognize it. Pitch Dark Dragon, another one I don't really remember. Pardon the glare. Dragon Tribe? Yeah, not familiar with that one either. Amazoness Flowpiper, I believe I am familiar with that one. Ooh, Eternal Rest. I always loved the way this card looked. Destroy all monsters equipped with equipped cards. Yeah, that's just like a badass looking card. Look at that shit. That's awesome. Oh! I summon Pot of Greed, which allows me to summon another Pot of Greed, which allows me to summon another Pot of Greed, which allows me to summon another Pot of Greed. I now have 4 Pots of Greed. That I'm going over with the other ones. Fenrir, another one I'm not familiar with. Protective Soul Aelin. I'm not reading that full ability. Attack 0, defense 0. Go figure. Patrician of Darkness. This one's a cool look. This one was a cool looking card. Yeah, I do remember this one. I believe I owned it. Zing Zen Hu, not familiar with that one. Dragon's Rage, I believe I'm familiar with that one. Pole Position, not familiar with that one, but that's an interesting theme. Dragon Capture Jar, very familiar with that one. Robin Goblin. Adhesion Trap Hole. Fake Trap, familiar with that one. Oh, here comes big words. Pray for me, this will be a struggle. Compulsory Evacuation Device. Interesting. Return 1 monster on the field to its owner's hand. Mystic Probe. Disappear. I wonder what that does. Oh, it just removes for play. Okay. That makes sense. World Suppression. Spell Purification. Castle Walls. Had this one. Pyro Clock of Destiny. Mirror Wall. I did have this one. Pharaoh's Treasure. Negate Attack. I did have this one. I feel like this is more than 50. It probably isn't. Divine Wrath. Lots of trap cards here. Holy hell. Rite of Spirit. I'm familiar with that one. Needle Sealing. Familiar with that one. Dragon's Bead. Urin Kazan. Disarm. These are... Somebody just put a bunch of trap cards in this one. Another Ultimate Offering. GM Defender. Vanity's Call. Another Ultimate Offering. Tiki Curse. Waboku, had that one. First Breath. Ah, shit! Oh, man, Joey has this one. He uses it all the time. What the hell's it called? Skull Dice? I think Skull Dice. I think that's it. Let me fact check myself. Joey Dice cards. Skull Dice. I was right. Yeah! Score 1 for me. Look at that. Giant Soldier of Stone in Japanese, but I know Giant Soldier of Stone. Reliable Guardian. Familiar with that one. Hierarcho Sphinx. Yeah, that's it. Got it. I've seen this one before. This one might have something to do with Pot of Greed. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the smile. Arsenal Summoner and Cryo. Oh wait, no. Arsenal Summoner. I think there was only one more. There's 2 more. Cryo Sphinx. And I was familiar with, yeah. Flying Kamakiri number 2. And that's it. So nothing really crazy in there, but I got another pot of greed cards, so I'm happy. I wasn't expecting many rare ones to be in there. I should have bought myself a Dark Magician, that was my guy. Much like it was a lot of people's, but you know how that works. Okay, so that's that. That was fun. Yeah, I gotta do more stuff like this. It involves spending money. Oh well. We'll get back to unboxing stuff more frequently as well. Eventually I'll get into, like, I'll do reviews on, like, all my GameCube stuff too. There's a lot there. There's a lot. But anyway. That was fun, and now it is time. Let us Paper Mario.